it hurts. You poured your heart and soul into a project, you stayed late, brainstormed solutions, supported your colleagues, but when the accolades came, your efforts went unnoticed. That empty feeling, that's the sting of unreciprocated effort. It's a common experience in the workplace, a breeding ground for disappointment and resentment. We've all been there, questioning our worth, feeling overlooked and undervalued. The key is not to let these feelings fester and poison our outlook. Acknowledge the pain. It's real. Allow yourself to feel it, then gently release it. Dwelling on the perceived injustice only amplifies the hurt. Remember, your worth isn't tied to external validation. Your value comes from within, from your inherent skills, your dedication, and your willingness to contribute. Never let anyone dim your light. The workplace is a melting pot of personalities, each with its own motivations, priorities, and ways of expressing appreciation. Understanding these differences can help us navigate expectations and minimize disappointment. Some colleagues are naturally effusive, showering praise and recognition freely. Others are more reserved, expressing appreciation through actions rather than words. Mistaking their silence for indifference can lead to misunderstandings and hurt feelings. Remember, everyone has their own unique way of operating. Don't assume malicious intent where there might simply be a difference in communication styles. Instead of taking it personally, try to understand the perspectives of those around you. Cultivate empathy and compassion. This understanding will foster a more harmonious work environment and help you manage your own expectations. Buddha taught that attachment to desired outcomes leads to suffering. This ancient wisdom, though rooted in spiritual teachings, has profound implications for our modern lives, especially in the workplace. In our professional environments, we often find ourselves striving for recognition, praise, and validation. These desires, while natural, can become sources of deep dissatisfaction. When we cling tightly to the expectation of praise or recognition, we set ourselves up for disappointment. The workplace, with its inherent competition and varying dynamics, rarely meets all our expectations. Our happiness becomes conditional, dependent on the actions of others. This dependency can lead to a cycle of frustration and resentment, as we constantly seek external validation to feel worthy. This creates a breeding ground for resentment and frustration, ultimately hindering our own peace of mind. The more we rely on others to affirm our value, the more we lose touch with our intrinsic worth. Instead, strive to find joy in the process itself. Embrace the journey of your work, the small victories, and the skills you develop along the way. Focus on the satisfaction of a job well done, the pleasure of using your skills, and the knowledge that you are contributing to something larger than yourself. The pleasure of using your skills, the contribution you're making to the team, and the growth you experience are all valuable in their own right. The contribution you're making to the team. By shifting your focus from external validation to internal satisfaction, you can transform your work experience. Detach your sense of self-worth from external validation. Understand that your value is not determined by others' opinions or acknowledgments. When we release the need for external approval, we reclaim our power. We become the masters of our own happiness, finding contentment in our efforts and achievements. We find contentment in our own efforts regardless of the outcome. This internal shift allows us to navigate the workplace with a sense of peace and fulfillment. This shift in perspective paves the way for a more joyful and fulfilling work experience. By embracing the process and valuing our own contributions, we can find true satisfaction and peace in our professional lives. Let me share a story. It's a tale of two colleagues, Maya and David, who embarked on a journey together, working tirelessly on a crucial project that demanded their utmost dedication and creativity. Maya and David, both talented and driven, poured their hearts into the project. They spent countless hours brainstorming, collaborating, and refining their ideas, each bringing their unique strengths to the table. Maya, driven by a need for recognition, constantly sought validation from her superiors. Her efforts were tinged with an air of expectation, as she hoped her hard work would be acknowledged and rewarded. She often found herself checking her phone anxiously, waiting for a word of praise or a sign of approval. David, on the other hand, approached the project with quiet dedication. He found satisfaction in the process of problem-solving and collaboration. For him, the joy was in the journey, not the destination. He immersed himself in the work, finding peace and contentment in the act of creation itself. When the project concluded successfully, David received public praise. His contributions were celebrated, and he was acknowledged for his hard work and dedication. Maya's contributions, however, were largely overlooked, leaving her feeling unappreciated and invisible. Maya felt deeply disappointed and resentful. She had invested so much of herself into the project, and the lack of recognition stung. She found herself questioning her worth and the value of her efforts. David, detached from the outcome, felt content with his contribution. He understood that recognition wasn't guaranteed, but his sense of self-worth remained intact. He found peace in knowing that he had done his best, regardless of the external validation. David's approach allowed him to remain grounded and content. He walked with a sense of purpose, enjoying the simple pleasures of life and the satisfaction of a job well done. His confidence came from within, not from the accolades of others. This story illustrates the power of letting go of attachment. When we release the need for external validation, we free ourselves from the roller coaster of expectations and disappointments. We find a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. When we let go of the need for approval, we open ourselves to a more authentic and fulfilling experience. We become more present, more engaged, and more at peace with ourselves and our efforts. We find peace in knowing we did our best regardless of the outcome. In this way, we cultivate a sense of inner contentment and resilience, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with grace and equanimity. So how do we move forward when faced with workplace disappointment? Start by reassessing your efforts. Are you pouring energy into tasks that align with your strengths and passions? Or are you chasing recognition in areas that leave you feeling drained and unfulfilled? Sometimes, disappointment is a sign to redirect our energy. Identify your core values and seek opportunities that resonate with them. When our work aligns with our passions, recognition becomes less important. The joy comes from the work itself, not from external validation. Explore new avenues within your workplace. Volunteer for projects that excite you. Seek out mentors who embody the values you admire. By aligning your efforts with your passions, you create a more fulfilling and rewarding work experience. One of the most powerful antidotes to workplace disappointment is the conscious practice of giving kindness without expectation. In our fast-paced, often stressful work environments, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle, losing sight of the simple yet profound impact of kindness. By taking a moment to step back and focus on the well-being of others, we can transform not only our own experience but also the atmosphere around us. When we focus on uplifting others, on offering support and encouragement, we shift our energy away from our own perceived slights. Small acts of kindness, a word of encouragement, or a simple gesture of support can make a significant difference. These actions not only help others feel valued and appreciated, but also help us to cultivate a sense of purpose and connection. A listening ear, a genuine smile, or a heartfelt compliment can go a long way in building trust and camaraderie among colleagues. These small yet meaningful interactions create a foundation of mutual respect and understanding, fostering a more cohesive and supportive work environment. Can have a ripple effect, creating a more positive and supportive work environment. When kindness becomes a habit, it spreads, influencing others to act with the same generosity and compassion. This collective effort can lead to a more harmonious and productive workplace where everyone feels valued and motivated. Remember, true kindness is given freely, without expectation of reciprocation. It's about making a conscious choice to brighten someone's day, simply because you can. This selfless approach not only benefits the recipient, but also enriches our own lives, bringing a sense of fulfillment and joy. It's about making a conscious choice to brighten someone's day, simply because you can. This selfless act, in turn, brings a sense of peace and fulfillment that transcends the need for external validation. By focusing on the happiness and well-being of others, we find a deeper sense of purpose and contentment in our own lives. This selfless act, in turn, brings a sense of peace and fulfillment that transcends the need for external validation. It allows us to connect with our inner selves and find tranquility amidst the chaos. When we approach our interactions with genuine kindness, we create a more positive and harmonious work environment for ourselves and those around us. When we approach our interactions with genuine kindness, we create a more positive and harmonious work environment for ourselves and those around us. This not only enhances our professional relationships but also contributes to our overall well-being, making our work life more enjoyable and fulfilling. Remember, the energy we put out into the world has a way of circling back to us. When we approach our work with generosity, offering support and encouragement freely, we create a positive ripple effect. Our colleagues are more likely to reciprocate with kindness and appreciation, fostering a more supportive and fulfilling work environment. Focus on being a source of positivity and inspiration in your workplace. Celebrate the successes of others. Offer help when needed. Be a source of encouragement and support. By contributing to a positive and uplifting work culture, you'll find that the energy you give out comes back to you in unexpected and rewarding ways. While immediate recognition is gratifying, true fulfillment comes from knowing we've made a positive impact. The universe keeps score. Your efforts, your kindness, your dedication, they don't go unnoticed. The rewards may not always come in the form we expect, but they will come. Trust in the cyclical nature of energy. What you give out, you attract. Focus on being the best version of yourself, both professionally and personally. The rest will fall into place. Remember, your worth is inherent. Don't let workplace disappointments dim your light. Embrace the journey, cultivate kindness, and trust that the universe is conspiring to reward your efforts in its own perfect timing.